Hello girls, gays, and non-binary babes. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Boston if you're new. Welcome, hello, hi. Today I'm doing an original book tag. I'm very excited. It's not really a book tag, but we're gonna call it a book tag because there's questions / prompts and you pick a book to fill that prompt. So it's kind of a book tag, but I'm not really tagging anybody because it's open for everybody to do at the end of the year. So it's like half a tag. I don't know. But as you can tell from the title, this is called the Bookish Superlatives tag. And I know what you're thinking. What the heck does that mean? Now, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I did post a thread of the prompts and kind of what they mean so that people had the chance to do them early and, you know, get like their lists set up in advance. So if you don't follow me there, this is where you're getting your info from. So the idea of this tag is to include all of the books that I think or you think deserve an honorable mention from the year that maybe didn't quite make your best of the year list, but you want to give them a shout out and you think they deserve an honorable mention. There are categories that we have and they're based off of superlatives that, you know, you have in school. I don't know if they do superlatives in other countries, so maybe this is just a US thing. So I'm sorry if you don't know what a superlative is. Basically, it's something like best dressed that you get in school, and people pick like best dress, best smile, best eyes. Like, it's a bunch of different things. I've got my superlatives. I've got my books right here next to me. Some of them, oh gosh, are on my list of like best of the year. But I just think that, you know, based on the categories, that they also fit these categories. So we'll see when we get there, but we're gonna start. The first superlative that we have is most likely to make a comeback. So this is a book that you read maybe in previous years that you didn't really like or you felt kind of meh about, and you reread it this year and you really loved it. This, obviously all of these are up for interpretation, so if you want to interpret them differently or add your own, feel free to do so. For this, I picked The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern because I read this last year, I think. This was actually gifted to me by Jamie from, used to be Leo Reads One, now Jamie Alicia. And I love Jamie, and I read this and I didn't really quite grasp the whole thing. I think I read this when I got back from a trip, I believe, and so my mind was kind of elsewhere, but I reread it this year and one of my favorite books that I read this year. I loved the romance, I loved the world, the magic, everything in it was so wonderful, and I'm so glad that I reread it because I just fell in love with it. And definitely made a comeback for me this year. Okay, the next book, or the next superlative that we have is Class Clown. So this is a book that made you laugh, or a character that made you laugh. And for this, I don't have the physical book. Hopefully I'll get it for Christmas, fingers crossed. Dad, if you're watching this, hopefully you got it for me for Christmas. But that is Harrow the Ninth by Tamsin Ware. I do have a placeholder, the first book, Gideon the Ninth. But I read Harrow the Ninth this year and it was so funny. Tamsin Ware, you can tell, was on Tumblr during her peak years, her formative years, just like I was, and the humor is just so funny and Tumblr-esque. In Harrow, there is a literal reference to none pizza left beef. Like, I don't know how you managed to squeeze that into an adult sci-fi book, but it made me like die of laughter. And there's little things like that sprinkled throughout that maybe you don't catch the first time, but it's just really funny and I loved it. Definitely made me laugh out loud. So that one goes to Harrow. So the next one, the next superlative is Best Dressed. Like I mentioned, in the beginning. So Best Dressed is a book that you read with the prettiest cover of the year. This one, the award goes to, spoiler alert, my favorite book of the year, The Midnight Lie by Marie Rutkoski. So she's stunning. I think what I really love about this cover is the color scheme. And I don't know what it is about it, but the green is just so beautiful, and this soft, like, this is like the color of my walls in my room, so you know I love this color. It's like a creamy color, and the red of the flower, like, combined with the pinkish red down here. Oh my gosh, there's sticker residue on this. No. But it's just so, like, just the color scheme is just wonderful, and it's beautiful. So I'm just obsessed with this cover, but it could also have to do with the fact that I'm obsessed with the book in general, so yeah. Definitely best cover for me though. Next superlative is Cutest Couple. So this is a book that you read that had your favorite romance, and for me, can you tell I'm getting excited? For me, that is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. If you don't already know, I am a sucker for guys that are soft on the inside and like pretend to be mean or whatever, like, are mean to everybody except the love interest. That's my thing. I love it. I would die for those guys. Like, those are the only straight men that deserve rights. That's it. Just them. I just love the romance in here. It was just so cute. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't normally read like romance books. So if you like romance books, then maybe your taste is different, but that's my taste. The next superlative, I kind of customized this one to specifically something bookish in a way, most likely to make you cry. This is not really, I hope it's not an actual superlative, but I felt like it fit the genre we're going for. This is obviously a book that is the most likely to make you cry. Oh, I forgot I don't have a copy of this either. This is also on my wish list for Christmas. Dad, if you're watching this, hopefully you got me this book for Christmas. My pick for this is Addie LaRue. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I cried like a baby. Like a baby. This was so sad. It was so sad. And yeah, it just made me cry. So I feel like it made everybody cry though. So yeah, I feel like for this one, this superlative, everybody's either gonna pick Addie LaRue or that, like, A Little Life, is that what it's called? That everybody was crying on BookTube over? It's one of the two for everybody, I don't know. But yeah, Addie LaRue, easily. Next book we have, or the next superlative we have is most dramatic. So this can be any category of book. This speaks for itself. The most dramatic book you read this year, and that can be a positive or a negative. For me, it's a positive. I picked Tiny Pretty Things by Sona Sharipotra and Danielle Clayton. I really loved this series, and it's so dramatic, and if you like drama, you'll like this. If you like drama, you will love the Netflix show. I feel like I love these mostly because there was ballet in them, but very dramatic, because it follows a ballet company. There is no more dramatic place than a ballet company. Trust me on that one. The next superlative that we have, or superlatives, we'll combine these two. So they are most changed and least changed. And by changed, I kind of took it as a sequel that's very different from the original, and a sequel that is kind of like returning home. Like you know what to expect, and you got what you expect in a good way, if that makes sense. You can take it in a bad way, like this book didn't change much from the first one and I hated it, you know, do what you want. But most changed, I picked Harrow the Ninth, sequel to Gideon the Ninth. Once again, I picked this for fairly obvious reasons if you've read it. The first half of Harrow the Ninth is told in second person. This is told in third person. This is told in third person. Second person books are rare, and I think Harrow the Ninth did it really, really well. And so that's the main reason why I picked that, because it's just so different than this one. The story is completely different. It's less of a sequel and more of a companion, but you do have to have read this first. It's just so different than Gideon the Ninth, and I loved it. So, Harrow the Ninth, most changed by far. Least changed. I picked The Camelot Betrayal by Kirsten White. I picked this for a couple of reasons. One, because it feels like going home, because I loved the Guinevere deception so much, and you know, the characters are just, they're the characters. This book didn't change a whole lot. For me, like, it just feels like Guinevere and Lancelot and Arthur and Brangian, and you know, it's them. It's them. And finally, we have Most Likely to Succeed. This is an author to watch out for. More specifically, a debut author to watch out for. And for this, actually, wait, did I pick an author that has published something before? Okay, so the book I picked isn't a debut author. So I'll tell you what it was, but I did have a backup for this. I picked Fall is Fair by Hannah Kaplan, but Hannah Kaplan actually wrote a book in 2019. So I can't pick this. So my backup for this was Where Dreams Descend, more specifically Janella Angelis. Knowing how she writes romance and how she writes fantasy, I will certainly be picking up anything she puts out, and I will definitely be keeping an eye on her because she's got stuff up her sleeve, I can tell. But yeah, that was my backup, so it's a good thing I double checked on that. But yeah, those are the superlatives. If you want to do this tag, the prompts will be below, so check them out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you watched this far, leave me a black heart in the comments. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.